Hey guys, it's Renee, Truth Factor. Oh, when I woke up this morning, I was up half a night on the phone. But when I woke up this morning, they were already talking, and they started taking this vote. And I was fuming out the ears, and I figured I'd get on here and vote. I'd get on here and try to do this live so we could watch them cast this vote and all vent together. For those that want to vote, that want to vent, I'm very upset with the process of all of this. The way that they have nothing on our president, absolutely nothing. This has all been, stop. It's all been a sham. There is no crime, high crimes, misdemeanor. There's not even he didn't even jaywalk, guys. He didn't even jaywalk. But yet, we've got these stupid fools up here parading around because they don't like our president. Hey, JR, how are you? Okay. Hold on. Let me see what I can do here. Let me use this a second, and then you can have it, and we'll do it. Oh, sorry, guys.
No, I want you to type in making your clothes. No, I'm gonna look at them, but no, what the American Girl does with it.
We're having an American Girl doll kind of crisis over here with my 4-year-old, so excuse me, guys. I'm gonna get this to come up, and I'm gonna give you an email. My email. So you can get in touch with me. But this is ridiculous. There's no rule of law. The Democrats can go around and break every law imaginable, and there's no accountability. None whatsoever. But because they don't like our president, they're going to throw to the wind any constitutional process so that they can oust our president. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I just cannot. Okay. There it is.
No, you type in American Girl dolls, but no. I want to look at American Girl dolls clothes, but not with the American Girl dolls with it.
It's not. You have to wait for it to come on. It's there. I typed it in. So there you go. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm just the way that I can go live and where I have to go live at. I'm using my phone because, of course, she has my iPad, and so we are just trying to I just had to get on here to vent. I mean, does anyone else feel like, they've usurped, USUR, our country? The Constitution means absolutely nothing. There is no rule of law. It's gone completely out the window. There, I mean, I just cannot have, you know, I have no trust in my government at all. None whatsoever. I think this is a travesty. Um, I did I like Obama? No. Did I vote for Obama? No. But I did not and was not going around screaming and crying every single solitary day. I wasn't hollering, let's impeach him. I wasn't doing it, even though I felt like, he probably did do some things that he should have been impeached for. But did they impeach him? No, they did not. But yet, because they don't like him, we have this debacle. And that's what this is about. Because they don't like him, they can't get him unelected. So they're going to overthrow our government. And that is what they have done to get to try to get rid of him. But it is yeah, but they have. Hey, Angel. Hi, sweetheart. You're still healing. Aw. Um, it's just crazy. It is crazy. I get so worked up over this, guys, and and the thing that irritates the heck out of me is when I have to sit here and listen to the um, the Democrats say they're doing their constitutional duty. They are okay. I hope so. I can't check my email right now, but I will do so. But claiming that they're doing their constitutional duty. They are not doing their constitutional duty. If they were doing their constitutional duty, they would be working to put together bills to take care of our infrastructure. They would be working to take care of this immigration issue that we have. They would be working to better we the people and this country. But no, they want to attack our president because they know he's going to win. This is the only way they think that they stand a chance. This is all for show. They know that even and the most and for the record, I know I know all of my subscribers that are watching knows the process. But I'm hoping maybe, just maybe, that I'll get somebody that will watch this that doesn't know the process, and I'm going to break it down for them. Listen, there's two steps to an impeachment. There's there's where they investigate, which this was no investigation, and they come up with the articles of impeachment. Then there's a trial in the Senate to have him removed. So you can hide all your stupid and have a kangaroo court all you want. But guess what? At the end of the day, if you really want this impeachment to be meaningful, it has to go to the Senate, and there has to be a trial, and they have to find the evidence that the so-called impeachment of an articles found to oust him, to have him removed. But guess what, guys? That doesn't exist. So therefore, when it goes over to the Senate, you know, they're probably going to throw this out and laugh it out, which I believe they've already said, they're going to have some opening marks and they're going to take their vote and they're going to throw it out. This is ridiculous. And for all those stupid people that were standing out there crying how, oh, Article 1, Section 2. Well, let me tell you. Article 2, Section 1 tells me that this is a sham. You've overstepped your powers. The Constitution is supposed to be the supreme law of the land, and you are supposed to uphold it. You have violated Amendment, you have violated every constitutional of the first 10. You violated. You have followed no constitutional guidelines. I hope it throws them out. I just want my money back. I hear you. And you have wasted millions of taxpayer dollars on your political pundit, sham, kangaroo circus, whatever you want to call what you have done to destroy the very fabric and foundation of this constitutional republic. The next person that says that this is a democracy, I hate to inform you. Democracy is what third world countries have. We've gone over this. I've already showed everybody this, but that's what third world countries have. You can listen to China talk about their republic. You can listen to Russia talk about their republic. You can listen to everybody talk about their their democracy, but this is a republic. If you don't know so, take you a civics class, please. I'm so sick of hearing about how this democracy, how we can't control our democracy, that we're trying to uphold our democracy. This is a republic, people. And for educated people to be so ignorant, it's not even funny. To say the least. It's not even funny. And I woke up already listening to them talk, so I do apologize. I slept in. I was late me getting off the phone. I felt like I was in high school again, I guess. Thought I was a teenager. I'd get up when the alarm went off. Hey, conservative patriot, how are you, hon? I am trying to listen to this sham of an impeachment. The December 18th, they won't impeach. I hope they don't impeach, Dennis. I pray to God they don't impeach. I pray that there's not enough votes. I pray that enough people have woke up. I think they have to have 216 if that is to the republic of which we stand, one nation, united. That's it, JR. That is it. This is a circus. This is a distraction. Exactly. I'm going to reverse the camera so you guys can see. Hopefully you can see. I was up early because I hear you. That's it. See, I don't know if you guys can see. I'll have to get closer to the TV, guys. So you can see the stupid numbers. There we go. The camera on my little phone here is just horrible. They're going to impeach, but they can't remove him. Exactly. And that's what I said. That is exactly it. They're going to try to impeach him, and they can impeach him at the House level. It is a sad day, DM. It is. It's a horrible day for our republic, for the American people, because this tells us that what we say doesn't matter to them. 63 million Americans came and stood together with one voice and said that this was the man that we wanted to elect to run our country. They have done nothing but oppose him every step of the way. Everything that this man does, they're in the courts trying to undo it. Exactly. For nothing. Yep, because we don't like him. That's it. That is exactly it. That is exactly it. Because we don't like him. That's it. And by God, we should. But see, the reason they're getting away with this, and I really believe this with all my heart, is because we're not making a big enough stand. We're not in the streets throwing a fit. We're not. Oh,
Got a question for you.
okay. What?
Okay.
So hubby's got a question, guys.
All these people in this hearing, okay, or this vote, are they not sworn in or under oath to do right or whatever?
Yeah. Hi, Shannon. Yeah, they are.
What are you doing?
I'm not getting you. I'm getting the thing. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, every one of them that has said that this evidence is undisputed and it's been disputed, shouldn't they be perjured for lying to Congress?
Exactly.
Because it's already been disputed, and they keep on saying it's undisputed, and so basically they're sitting there lying straight to Congress. So every one of them should be and perjury for lying. You know,
Exactly.
to Congress, because that's exactly what they're doing.
We don't care about no commercials. It's crazy stuff, guys. They're at 209.
Oh, you know they're going to get the vote because there's all the damn Democrats.
Yeah, they're not under oath. Soros and Bloomberg financed all this. I'm sure they did. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and they're at 211, 212.
213 total.
They're at that. They've got, I think, 3 more votes. I think 216 is the number that they have to have, guys,
Yeah.
to impeach him. And you can see that this is not a bipartisan decision. There is not one Republican that has voted for this, which would make it, a bipartisan decision. That's it. Yeah, well, I think they are at their threshold, guys. And 2 Dems voted against it. Oh, they did. Good for them. Exactly. Yeah. No, Jenna, this isn't part of any prophecy that I know of, honey. But this is ridiculous. The party system is above the law. Exactly. You are exactly right. No truer word said, my man. This is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. We have watched them, and I say them, and I use this loosely, destroy the Republic. They have completely and utterly destroyed it. And only that will be persecuted for him. Yep. Exactly. Yep. There's no more time left, so I don't know what they're waiting on here, guys. Just a prophecy that the Democrats always are going to be a nutcase. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, everybody better get out and vote, because and vote. I don't care how sad the Republican is, and if you don't have a Republican on your ballot, put yourself on the ballot as a candidate. I believe in some instances it's like $1,000. I mean, I'm sure that we, the American people, somebody can get behind you. We can take up, donations or something. We've got to do more. We cannot accept this stuff anymore, guys. We just can't. We cannot do this anymore. We cannot allow another Democrat to step foot back in Congress. The Trump derangement syndrome is in the Democrat. It is. Marfugal for 2020. Yes. He ain't gonna take over Trump, but I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying for Congress, for Senate, for any of those levels. It is insane. All the talk about the Dems having no chance in 2020 is going to let the lazy voter have his excuse to stay home. It will. It will indeed. And I also want to talk about, how Chris Wallace keeps wanting to throw in this, all these polls. These are rigged polls. There's not a poll that I would believe out there. We saw how they took these stupid polls and said, "Oh, Donald Trump doesn't have a clear path to the presidency." Well, we saw what happens with their polls. Give me a break. It's propaganda. They believe if they say a lie enough times that you're going to believe it. And that is exactly what they've done. Exactly what they've done. This is ridiculous. They ended up with 229. Let me get up here and do this again. They're talking about it. When they go come back to the stupid, to count the vote, I'll turn it back to it. And see what my hubby did with my remote, that is. But I think she's... Well, she's reading it. So he's been impeached. A very, very sad and very sober, solemn day. The day the Republic has been usurped by the Democratic Party, guys. That's all I can say. Exactly, Dennis. Exactly. And there's an arguing to the resolution. Oh, I so pray, Jimmy. I do pray, honey. I pray. So now there's a vote because they're arguing the ruling. Of course, they would do that, you know. You would expect them to argue it. Sorry, guys. So I found the remote. So if they ever actually go back to the house, we can hear them instead of listening to me rant. Oh, guys. Some crazy stuff. Crazy, 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 crazy stuff. It's sad. I don't know. I just am not. I cannot fathom this, guys. I really cannot wrap my head around how they've gotten away with this. And I so pray that we could somehow come together. Hi, Benny. How are you, honey? I don't know. Somehow, we have got to get those. We have impeached the Congress. Let's impeach the Congress, guys. There has to be. The left is so brainwashed, and they can't. Exactly. They don't listen to facts. They listen to them spew the stupid propaganda that the MSM is putting out. I know, exactly. They have a plan. We have got to stand up against this. We cannot continue to allow this. And that's why, one, you know that the Brashears Democrat in Kentucky. Well, one, he's gone out and he has um, uh, enlisted, I guess you could say, or he has allowed 140,000 felons to vote. He's reinstated their voting rights. Okay, so now we have New York and those other cities, big large cities that are giving illegal immigrants license so that they can vote. That's what this is all about, is to try to steal the 2020 election. We've got to stand up, and I don't know how true this is because I haven't had a chance to investigate this, but my mother said that apparently in somewhere in 1960 that there was actually a bill or an amendment or something to do with the Constitution where they made a law that it is illegal for illegals to imagine that illegal, but illegal for illegals, immigrants, to pose driver's license. There's supposed to be some kind of constitutional bill or something. So how are they getting away with bypassing that legislation is what I want to know, and doing what they want to do, because nobody is standing up and enforcing and making them stand to it. That's what all these 17 states that have red flag laws. Nobody has challenged it. If people would stand up and challenge their stupid state laws, they would be overturned. Exactly, DM. That's exactly what we need to do. What's up, cough, cough? You are so funny, great informer. Trust the plan, letting them. Well, I hope so. Hi, Helen. How are you? It's a sad day here, Helen. A sad day. Power over the Constitution. No, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. There's supposed to be nothing that supersedes that. Period. POTUS wants to go forward, and they will have their You can get vote. Well, I am, and I'm not, because obviously the there's so much lawlessness that goes, they keep hollering, the Russians have meddled with the election. But guess what I heard at that FISA hearing with Horowitz in there? The people that meddled with the election were Americans. It was Hillary Rodham Clinton and the DNC. But yet, have they been held accountable for their actions? No, they want to continue and perpetrate that it's the Dems. I mean the Russians. And they do. And they don't have the power. But, well, I guess they do, because we're not doing anything about it. We just sit back and we just take everything they do like it's no big deal. National Guard, which leads me to the question to the loyalty of some men. Exactly. Well, we haven't seen them bring in the National Guard yet. But can you say MK, great informer? Because that's what comes to mind. I mean, that's the only thing that comes to mind. Because I cannot, when Katrina happened and the horror stories I heard about the National Guard taking people's guns and things of that nature, and it wasn't because they were storming the house and taking their guns. So, I don't know. I just, it's sad. Oh, grace and peace to you, sweetheart. According to the insider, this was the expected part of the plan. Well, I hope that they don't comply with that order, and we are all talking about the situation in D.C. I hope, I do hope that that's what we are talking about. This debacle here is, yeah, Virginia. Yeah, uh, MK, you really the mind control that has been in play for so long. Yeah, MK Ultra. Did I not say MK Ultra? Sorry, great informer. And what do you guys think about them not wanting to have a hearing over in the Senate? That they're just wanting to do opening remarks and then, throw it out or take their vote or whatever. I have mixed feelings about that. You know, I kind of want them to have a hearing because I want our president to be vindicated of all of this crap, and I want those that think that they know what's happened to really see the truth. Because one, they won't have any witnesses on the other side because hearsay won't be allowed. And did you see how many? I don't know if you guys could hear it, but there was so many people. A podcast conspiracy. No, I didn't hear the podcast conspiracy. There was so many people talking about. Oh goodness sakes, how do I want to word this, guys? Um, oh, here it is.
And misdemeanors. Article 1, Abuse of Power. The Constitution provides that the House of Representatives shall have the sole power of impeachment, and that the President shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. In his conduct of the office of President of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional oath faithfully to execute the office of President of the United States, and, to the best of his ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional duty to take care that the laws be faithfully executed, Donald J. Trump has abused the powers of the presidency in that, using the powers of his high office, President Trump solicited the interference of a foreign government, Ukraine, in the 2020 United States presidential election. He did so through a scheme or course of conduct that included soliciting the government of Ukraine to publicly announce investigations that would benefit his re-election, harm the election prospects of a political opponent, and influence the 2020 United States presidential election to his advantage. President Trump also sought to pressure the government of Ukraine to take these steps by conditioning official United States government act.
Yeah, they want to say that he's interfered with the 2020 election. Give me a break. What about those Democrats at the DNC and HRC interfering with the 2016 election?
In a manner that compromised the national security of the United States and undermined the integrity of the United States democratic process. He thus ignored and injured the interests of the nation. President Trump engaged in this scheme or course of conduct through the following means. 1. President Trump, acting both directly and through his agents within and outside the United States government, corruptly solicited the government of Ukraine to publicly announce investigations into a political opponent, former Vice President.
I pray the voters never forget it.
A discredited theory promoted by Russia, alleging that Ukraine, rather than Russia, interfered in the 2016 United States presidential election. 2. With the same corrupt motives, President Trump, acting both directly and through his agents within and outside the United States government, conditioned 2 official acts on the public announcements that he had requested. A. The release of $391 million of United States taxpayer funds that Congress had appropriated on a bipartisan basis for the purpose of providing vital military and security assistance to Ukraine to oppose Russian aggression, and which President Trump had ordered suspended. And B, a head of state meeting at the White House, which the president of Ukraine sought to demonstrate continued United States support for the government of Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression. 3. Faced with the public revelation of his actions, President Trump ultimately released the military and security assistance to the government of Ukraine, but has persisted in openly and corruptly urging and soliciting Ukraine to undertake investigations for his personal political benefit. These actions were consistent with President Trump's previous invitations of foreign interference in United States elections. In all of this, President Trump abused the powers of the presidency by ignoring and injuring national security and other vital national interests to obtain an improper personal political benefit. He has also betrayed the nation by abusing his high office to enlist a foreign power in corrupting democratic elections. Wherefore, President Trump, by such conduct, has demonstrated that he will remain a threat to national security and the Constitution if allowed to remain in office, and has acted in a manner grossly incompatible with self-governance and the rule of law. President Trump thus warrants impeachment and trial, removal from office, and disqualification to hold and enjoy
Exactly. I say that.
under the United States. Article 2, obstruction of Congress. The Constitution provides that the House of Representatives shall have the sole power of impeachment, and that the President shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. In his conduct of the office of President of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional oath faithfully to execute the office of President of the United States, and to the best of his ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution,
because that's the only way they think, that's the only way they can try to even remotely win an election. It's ridiculous.
Trump has directed the
So we break laws and we go against the Constitution.
Of subpoenas issued by the House of Representatives pursuant to its sole power of impeachment. President Trump has abused the powers of the presidency in a manner offensive to and subversive of the Constitution, in that the House of Representatives has engaged in an impeachment inquiry focused on President Trump's corrupt solicitation of the government of Ukraine to interfere in the 2020 United States presidential election. As part of this impeachment inquiry, the committees undertaking the investigation served subpoenas seeking documents and testimony deemed vital to the inquiry from various executive branch agencies and offices and current and former officials. In response, without
Exactly, DM. That's the only person that has abused their power is the Democrats.
Not to comply with those subpoenas. President Trump thus interposed the powers of the presidency against the lawful subpoenas of the House of Representatives and assumed to himself functions and judgments necessary to the exercise of the sole power of impeachment vested by the Constitution in the House of Representatives. President Trump abused the powers of his high office through the following means. 1. Directing the White House to defy a lawful subpoena by withholding the production of documents sought therein by the committees. 2. Directing other executive branch agencies and offices to defy lawful subpoenas and withhold the production of documents and records from the committees, in response to which the Department of State, Office of Management and Budget, Department of Energy, and Department of Defense refused to produce a single document or record. 3. Directing current and former executive branch officials not to cooperate with the committees, in response to which 9 administration officials defied subpoenas for testimony.
It is,
namely,
Brother Benny, it is.
Mulvaney, Robert B. Blair, John A. Eisenberg,
I don't see how they could be great informer. They're ruling it over there. How could they be nervous? They're impeached our president. They might not unseat him, but they've impeached him. So there's an asterisk, a glowing asterisk on our president's head now because of their shenanigans. So everybody that comes in after, well, it'll look like the president was impeached for, you know, for crimes, and he didn't commit any. It's insane.
In the history of the Republic, no president has ever made the complete defiance
yeah, I saw that.
or sought to obstruct and impeach so comprehensively.
Yeah, I think that's the story of the hour. Why isn't Nancy sitting in the chair? Isn't she the chairman? Shouldn't she be running this? Where's Schiff at? Are they sitting in jail maybe? We could only be so lucky. We would only be so lucky, guys.
In all of this, President Trump has acted in a manner contrary to his trust as president and subversive of constitutional government, to the great prejudice.
They need to be in jail.
Justice, and to the manifest.
Well, of course she doesn't want to own this.
Wherefore, President Trump, by such conduct,
and he is the greatest president ever. I will second that.
if allowed to remain in office, and has acted in a manner.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I want to sit down anymore. I believe that whenever, if this even goes to the Senate, if it does go to the Senate, I believe every American that voted for this president needs to have their butt down in Washington, D.C. and show them that we oppose what they have done and what they are doing. Exactly, Shastina. I agree with you. That's probably what the situation is.
And controlled by the chair and ranking member of the Committee on the Judiciary or their respective designees. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Nadler, and the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Collins.
You are welcome, JC.
The chair now recognizes the gentleman from New York, Mr. Nadler.
Madam Speaker,
that's it.
I ask unanimous consent.
There's Nadler.
They have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks and insert extraneous material on HRES 755.
Without objection, so ordered.
Madam Speaker, I now yield 1 minute to the distinguished Speaker of the House.
Gentlelady, distinguished speakers recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding for his tremendous.
Oh, there she is. She's not in jail.
The Constitution of the United States. I also extend my gratitude to Chairman Schiff, who will be presiding later in the day. My colleagues, this morning and every morning, when we come together, members rise and pledge allegiance to the flag. Every day, all across America, children in school, members of the military, officials.
Yeah, well, we, the people that put him in office, need to be out there protesting that they are have usurped our Constitution. They have destroyed it. We need to stand in unison and tell them we're not going to take this anymore. I hope so, JR. I can't wait to look at this video or look at that email now. As soon as I end this, that's the first thing I can't stand her either, guys.
We are here to talk about today. A republic.
Ugh.
If we can keep it.
We
gather today.
We don't have a republic. You've destroyed it, woman.
To exercise one of the most solemn powers that this body can take, the impeachment of the President of the United States. No member, regardless of party or politics.
Oh, thank you, great informer. God bless you.
Every one of us, as our first act as a member of Congress.
Thank you so much. They have destroyed our Constitution. They have, Shastina.
American flag and raised our hands in this sacred oath.
No, I didn't hear that.
I swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign.
Exactly.
Enemies. So help me God.
You are the enemy. You have destroyed our Constitution. You are the enemy.
The Constitution. When our founders declared independence and established a new nation, they crafted a system of government.
Exactly. Look at California.
A republic, starting with the sacred words.
POTUS won't be removed. He won't. But the simple fact, though, is that we allowed them to hold this sham. We should have been marching the streets, making them, close down Washington. We should have showed up in numbers. But guess what? I do plan on showing up when they go to the Senate for their hearing. Your son woke you up to tell you it's ridiculous. No choice. You got a choice, woman.
Is the established fact that the president violated the Constitution. It is a matter of fact that the president is an ongoing threat to our national security and the integrity of our elections, the basis of our democracy.
They're a threat to our national security.
Historians, legal scholars, and former prosecutors, regardless of party, have stated that the president
Yeah, exactly, great informer. They need to step down.
Today is a national civics lesson.
That's it.
Though a sad one, I submit these documents for the record and commend them.
No, they don't read the Constitution. They don't even know what the Constitution is, most likely. Road trip, exactly, JR, road trip.
Today is the established fact that the president, again, violated the Constitution. It is a matter of fact that the president is, again, an ongoing threat to our national security. And the testimony of decorated war heroes.
I hear you. I have lupus. And my body doesn't want to work on some days. But I guarantee you, I don't care if I have my cane or what, I will be there. This is ridiculous.
At the expense of America's national security. When a president weakens a Democratic ally that is advancing.
Oh, they better be. I hope that this. Okay. He didn't do anything. It's not a dumb question, JC. He hasn't done anything. That's exactly the point. That's exactly why so many true Americans.
The founders understood that it is profoundly corrosive for our democracy.
I can't trust the plan when my president is being impeached. He might not be removed, but he's been impeached. And this is the travesty of it. And that's what people don't understand. My heart is broken.
Influence is one of the most baneful foes of Republican government. George Washington. Sadly, the American people have witnessed further wrongs of the president, which necessitate
225 to 197. Yeah, but ain't that all the votes they had to have? I think the vote was 229.
He launched an unprecedented, indiscriminate.
And I thought the magic number was 216. Great informer. Am I wrong? Is it a different number?
And active, he is above the law. The president goes even so far as to say and act on this absurdity when he says, Article 2 says I can do whatever I want. No, it doesn't. That recklessness is a profound violation of the Constitution and our republic, which endure because of our system of
I hear you.
power, three co-equal branches, each a check and balance.
I can't, like I said, I cannot trust the plan when my president, I mean, you would almost, I hate to say this, but whoever says trust the plan must be a Democrat, because guess what? The plan has got us to allow the Democrats to usurp our Constitution, to destroy it, to impeach our president that we the people put in office. I hear you, Benny. I mean, believe me, I want to trust. I put trust in God. I do. They have to go through this to get the evil under the oath and expose them. Well, I'm waiting, and I have been waiting for 3 years for the tables to turn. We have so much evidence. The evidence is already there, guys. The evidence is already there. It has already been in place. We know who has had their dealings in trying to mess with the 2016 election. We know who did this.
After the war was won, the Europeans whom they liberated would ask, why did you risk us? You don't
Exactly. And that's what they've done. There is no Constitution, and that's what they've shown us, guys. That is exactly what they've shown us. If the President of the United States does not have constitutional rights, who does? I ask you, who does? If they can get away with this, who in the United States believes that there is a Constitution?
About this tumultuous era, I want them to show that I was among those in the House of Representatives who stood up to lawlessness and tyranny. He also said,
The lawlessness is what you guys have gotten away with for over 3 years to try to unseat our duly elected president. The entire government has been overthrown, and we need our Constitution reinstated. Exactly.
and I know that he and all of us here are very proud of the moral courage of members who want to honor the vision of our founders for a republic, the sacrifice of our men and women in uniform to defend it, and the aspiration.
I'm telling you, my forefathers are rolling over in their grave. And for her to stand up there and make this like that this is some patriotic thing that she has just done, her and her party have destroyed the American that I know that this country was founded on. They have completely destroyed this. Every one of them should be tried for treason. This is unconstitutional.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And we are here today to enter into a debate that should surprise no one. This has not been a surprise, and it's not even something that we would have not thought about. From the very moment that the majority party in this House won the inevitability that we would be here today was only a matter of what date they would schedule it. Nothing else. In fact, how it even began to even look even further was on September 24th. The Speaker announced an impeachment inquiry before even seeing the call transcript that we're going to hear so much about today. You know, it's not about what this body can do and its constitutional oath. And there's been a lot of constitutional and founders thrown around and will be all day today. But there's one thing that I will mention all along, and that is also the founders were very concerned about a partisan impeachment in which politics of the majority.
And I am too, honey.
What they want to
Exactly,
do,
Shastina.
of any facts. In fact, I've said it before, and I will say it again. I do not believe, no matter what was said today, and even what has been said, this is not a solid.
We are DARs. I don't know if you know what that is, but we are DARs. Why do messages keep getting retracted? I can't even read it.
Ever since the gentleman was elected, Mr. President came forward and did what he thought fit for the American people, but yet they
Amen, heaven bound.
and it hit me, and now I know. The reason they wanted to is now they're realizing what I told them and have been telling them for the last few weeks, that the clock
Yes.
and the calendar are terrible masters.
I'm a DAR.
The clock and the calendar,
And I know my forefathers are flipping in the grave.
and the calendar fixed.
This is not what they died for.
About time, and one day the clock and the calendar will hang along this body in a very detrimental way. How do I know this? Because one of our members, Mr. Lee, said on the night she was sworn in, we're going to impeach. Well, you know the rest. In May of 2019, Al Green said, I'm concerned if we don't impeach this president, he will get reelected. That is probably the most prescient thing said by the majority in the last year, is they said we can't beat him if we don't impeach him. There's a reason behind this impeachment. And even Speaker Pelosi said it would be dangerous to leave it to voters to determine whether President Trump stays in office.
Oh, I will go. Believe me.
Said the Pledge of Allegiance, we go back to the Speaker's own words.
And I wished I could have went before and had the chance to plan something. I'd reached out to a couple of people, and no one acted like they wanted to try to plan anything. But, oh, believe me, I'm going.
In the way this is being done, it has trampled everything this House believes in. I said it yesterday, and I believe it to be this true today. I will fight this on process, which has been deplorable, to use a word of the majority. It has been awful. The calendar and the clock make it impressive that we actually do it quickly. We don't care about rules. We don't care about minority hearing days. We don't care about giving the opportunity for witnesses to be called, because the chairman gets to determine what is relevant. Wow, that's pretty good. Let the accuser determine
Exactly.
to the one being accused. The people of America see through this. The people of America understand due process, and they understand when it is.
They are, Dennis. They are. I agree with
You
you.
see, it's also not a matter of process, which will be discussed today. It's a matter of actual facts. I will fight the facts all day long. Because what we found here today is a president who did not do as being charged. In fact, they had to go to abuse of power.
Hey, Lisa.
It's a term that you're going to hear many, many arguments about how that abuse of power, except for one thing. The call itself, the two parties say no pressure.
Yes, DM the mod's still here.
Nothing was ever done to get the money. In fact, they didn't even know the money was held. But there is something that very much bothers me about the facts. There were 5 meetings. We'll hear about those today, in which there was never a linkage made. There was one witness that is depended on over 600 times in the majority's report that in the end, after question, had to say, well, that was my presumption of what was happening. You see, this is an impeachment based on presumption. This is an impeachment, basically also a poll-tested impeachment on what actually sells to the American people. Today's going to be a lot of things. What it is not is fair. What it is not is about the truth. What is true today, and I just heard it just a moment ago in the article
To D.C. in January when the Senate calls for the hearing.
Weakened a foreign leader. You know what the truth of the matter is? That's been the most interesting and deplorable thing that I've heard over the last few weeks is the actual attack by the majority on President Zelensky.
Oh, I'm mad, sweet Jenna. I'm furious.
Their house of cards falls, and by the way, it's already failed. But if we can't show pressure, then we either have to call him a liar, a world leader, or we have to make up names to call him. And that's exactly what happened in Judiciary Committee when a member of the majority actually said he's acting or they're trying with a battered wife. That is below the dignity of this body. To take a world leader, and when he doesn't make your case for you, to belittle him. Especially, as is going to be often said by the majority, that they're in the middle of a hot war with Russia. You see, President Trump actually did give them offensive weapons. President Trump did nothing wrong. We're going to talk about that all day long today. We went on process and we went on facts. Why? Because the American people will see through this. But before I close this first part, I will have to recognize that even the Senate, the minority leader in the Senate, recognized that the House did not do their job. Because he can't make the case to his own members, so he's having to ask for witnesses, ask for more time. You see, and even yesterday, it was sort of funny. I thought it hilarious. The minority leader in the Senate went out and did a press conference and said, they denied my witnesses. They denied my request. Well, welcome to the club, Mr. Schumer. That's exactly what's happened over here for the last 3 months. So today, we're going to talk a lot about impeachment. We're going to talk a lot about our president, and we're going to talk about 2 articles of impeachment. Abuse of power, because they can't actually pin anything of factual basis on him. The president did nothing wrong in this issue. And then they're going to talk about obstruction of Congress. You know, obstruction of Congress, as I've said before, is like petulant children saying we didn't get our way when we didn't ask the right way and we didn't actually go after and try to make a case. You know why, Madam Speaker? The clock and the calendar are terrible masters. And the majority will own that problem today because to the clock and the calendar, facts don't matter. The promises to the base matter.
Oh, sweet Jenny, you made me laugh, girlfriend. I didn't see Carolyn's ever say that, but...
Gentleman from New York.
Madam Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
Madam Speaker, the House of Representatives must now consider 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump. The first article charges that the president used his public office to coerce a foreign government into attacking his political rival. The second article charges...
Oh, you said it. I saw you say it, Carolyn. What are you saying that you keep retracting it, great informer?
That President Trump placed his private political interests above our national security, above our elections,
how are you, Carolyn?
of checks and balances. After months of investigation,
We need somebody to make some comic relief up in here, that's for sure.
At hand. On July 25th, when he spoke to President Zelensky of Ukraine, President Trump had the upper hand. The president, through his agents, had already demanded that Ukraine announce an investigation of his political opponents. Ukraine needed our help, both military aid...
It is a fascinating subject.
...because of our security interests, and an Oval Office meeting to show the world that the United States continues to stand with Ukraine against Russian aggression.
Amen. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Carolyn. Prayers answered, that's for sure.
Instead, he
Praise the Lord.
prioritized his private political interests. President Trump asked President Zelensky for a favor. He wanted Ukraine to announce 2 bogus investigations, one into former Vice President Biden, then his leading opponent in the 2020 election, and another to advance a conspiracy theory that Ukraine, not Russia, attacked our elections in 2016. Neither request was premised on any legitimate national security or foreign policy interest. One was intended to help President Trump conceal the truth about the 2016 election. The other was intended to help him gain an advantage in the 2020 election. After the call, President Trump ratcheted up the pressure. He deployed his private attorney and other agents, some acting far outside the regular channels of diplomacy, to make his desires clear. There would be no aid and no meeting until Ukraine announced the Sham investigations. To our founding generation, abuse of power was a specific, well-defined offense. A president may not misuse the powers of the presidency to obtain an improper personal benefit. The evidence shows that President Trump did exactly that. For this alone, he should be impeached. But the first article also identifies 2 aggravating factors. When President Trump conditioned military aid on a personal favor, he harmed America's national security.
And they have, Carolyn. This is a circus, exactly.
His domestic political rival, he took steps to corrupt our next election.
They have been talking, JC. We've had a couple of people stand up.
The president faces a second article
Collins has spoke.
for his efforts to obstruct our investigation of his misconduct. The Constitution grants the sole
Exactly,
power
sweet
to
Jenna,
impeach
exactly.
representatives. Without checks and balances, the president may not decide for himself what constitutes a
Well,
impeachment.
Collins has made, the same remarks that he's been making. The Republicans are, when they get a chance to speak, they do speak truth. But oh, thank you, Timberlap. Thank you guys so much. You and everyone. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Congress cannot wait for the next election to address this misconduct. President Trump has demonstrated a clear pattern of wrongdoing. This is not the first time he has solicited foreign interference in an election, has been exposed, and has attempted to obstruct the resulting investigation.
Do you say did you just hear them say the socialists are going to take over? Yeah, that's what they're trying to say, that he interfered in the last one. They're the ones that interfered. Everything that they have accused our president of, they are the ones that are guilty of it.
His conduct continues to undermine our Constitution and threaten our next election. His actions warrant his impeachment and demand his removal.
I'm paying attention, I promise, Jimmy.
To support these articles, and I reserve the balance of my time.
See you later, Dennis. God bless you, honey. Have a blessed day.
My pleasure at this time to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Simpson.
Gentleman's recognized for 3 minutes.
Madam Speaker, I rise in opposition to impeaching the president. The Constitution says that any civil officer, including the president, may be impeached for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Unlike the Nixon and Clinton cases,
exactly,
there
sweet
are
Jenna.
no allegations that the president has committed a crime. We've had almost 3 years of nonstop investigations. We've had the Mueller report, we've had the Schiff investigation, we've had the Nadler investigation, and at no time is there any evidence that indicates that Donald
They've already had the vote, Zeppo.
violated any criminal statute of the United States.
Yeah. So where did all these people get a chance to vote? That's what I want to know. Where did they all come from? Were they in their offices voting? I didn't see no 200 people come in there.
They have wanted to reverse the course of the 2016 election ever since Donald J.
Bye, great informer. Have a blessed day, honey.
Let's look at these 2 phony articles of impeachment. First of all, abuse of power. This phony question had the president say Our country has been through a lot. I want you to do us a favor. Not me a favor, us a favor. And there he was referring to our country, the United States.
I hear you, Shastina.
Not a personal political gain.
It's kind of hard not to be
This transcript go public.
cursing.
He released the transcript almost immediately after the call.
Okay, sweetheart, I got you.
Now, the second article of impeachment
Dear Heavenly Father, I ask you to touch sweet Jenna. Heal her skin, Father. Get rid of that. Take away all her pain, Father. We lift her up in Jesus' name. Amen.
The president has certain individual.
It was 225 to 195, I think.
Whenever there's been a dispute between the executive and legislative branches heretofore, they've gone to court.
And I think they have to have
they would take jurisdiction over deciding whether
they had to have 216. I think that was the magic number.
Relating to his tax returns. Now here, the Democrats have been,
And they had no rats.
and this means that there's a rush job to do
Yeah,
this.
I can't get rid of this cough.
Because they want to influence the 2020 election.
I hear you, Shannon. I hope you have a blessed day, honey.
They've spent millions of taxpayers' dollars, including the Mueller report, putting together this impeachment, and they also have had this Congress wrapped around impeachment and not doing their jobs until the dam broke this week. Stop this charade, vote no, and I yield back.
Yields back. Gentleman from New York.
Speaker, the gentleman from Wisconsin knows full well the president asserted no privileges here. He simply ordered complete defiance of the impeachment inquiry. I now yield 2 minutes to the gentlelady from Pennsylvania, Ms. Scanlon.
Gentlelady is recognized.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you, Chairman,
It is.
for your leadership as we navigate this challenge.
No, Heritage, I haven't, and I need to go.
It's with profound sadness that I stand here today in support of these articles of impeachment. President Trump's behavior is exactly what our founders feared most. They knew that with the awesome power of the presidency came the risk of a president abusing that power for personal gain. They were particularly concerned about an executive.
I believe that they got the votes to impeach him.
Corrupted our elections.
Lisa.
To avoid consequences for his own misconduct in office.
I will.
That is why they included impeachment in the Constitution, to protect our republic. Our colleagues
Now the pineapple juice helped, so I'm not coughing as much, but it didn't. It doesn't take it all away. I have tried everything. I've tried everybody's. I know. I have. Okay, Heritage. I know, Lisa. It's ridiculous.
To pressure a foreign country to interfere in our elections. He undermined our national security. And when he got caught, he tried to cover it up.
The only person that's undermined our national security is you.
And witnesses. A government where the president abuses his power is not of the people. A government where the president pressures a foreign country to undermine our elections is not by the people. And a government where the president puts his own interests before the country is not for the people. This isn't complicated. You know it. I know it. The American people know it. President Trump's wrongdoing and the urgent threat that his actions present to our next election and our democracy leaves us no principled alternative but to support these articles of impeachment. Our Constitution, our country, and our children depend upon it. I yield back.
The gentlelady yields back. The gentleman from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish, as the gentlelady just said, I wish they would examine the factual conduct, but I guess that's not going to happen. So at this point, I yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Johnson.
Gentleman recognized.
Thank the gentleman from Georgia. Mr. Speaker, the founders of this country warned us against a single-party impeachment because they feared it would bitterly and perhaps irreparably divide our nation. The truth is, in the 243 years of this republic, there has never been a single-party fraudulent impeachment process like the one being used today. Our Democrat colleagues have weaponized the impeachment provision of the Constitution.
I have seen his tweets, Jimmy. I have.
To elected President Donald J. Trump. This is not about a phone call or Ukraine or even his.
Oh, thank you, Timberlab.
That 95 of the Democrats on this floor today voted to impeach Donald Trump before the July 25th phone call ever happened between.
Oh, you're so welcome, Lisa.
And not only is this a single
I wish I could be doing more. I just, it's so frustrating that it's like, you know, what can we do except for try to make our voices be heard?
President Trump engaged in any abuse of power. As you'll hear today, their entire case is based on hearsay.
I hear you, Carolyn.
Not a single fact witness that can provide testimony to support their baseless allegations.
Yeah, I know. I know a few Democrats have come out and I know a few Democrats have come out and said that this is the most insane thing they've ever witnessed, and that they literally will probably never vote Democrat again. It's just sad. It truly is sad. And every American should realize what is really going on. Oh, thank you, JR. God bless you guys. Thank you all so very much. But every American should wake up and see what they have done. And it should enrage every American like never before. I just don't know what to tell people, you know. We have to do something. We cannot just sit at home and not cast our votes. Like I said, if there's not a Republican on the ballot, go get your name on that ballot. Make sure there's a Republican, because that's how they took Kentucky or Virginia. I can't remember which one it was, but that's how they won in some of those instances, because there was no Republican on the ballot. Hey, Broken Patriot. I don't drink alcohol. I have no alcohol in my house. We don't drink. Exactly.
To investigate his political opponent and interfere in our elections. And he leveraged critically needed congressionally approved military aid to Ukraine. The president's allies want to claim that he did this because he cared about corruption. But if President Trump truly cared about corruption, then he would have listened to the talking points that were prepared.
Exactly, Lisa.
Security Council on anti-corruption. He did not. In fact, on those two calls with President Zelensky, he never mentioned the word corruption. He did not abide by the Department of Defense's own recommendation that Ukraine had passed all the anti-corruption benchmarks, and he didn't listen to the unanimous conclusion of all of his top advisors that he must release that aid to Ukraine. He did release the aid in 2017 and 2018, but not in 2019. Why? Because in 2019, Vice President Joe Biden was running for president. Because this is not hearsay. We have a responsibility. The president told us himself on national television exactly what he wanted from the phone call with President Zelensky. He came onto the White House lawn and he said, I wanted President Zelensky to open an investigation into the Bidens. He solicited foreign interference before. He is doing it now, and he will do it again. The president is the smoking gun. Our founders, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, entrusted us with the awesome responsibility of protecting our democracy, which gets its power not from the bloodlines of monarchs, but from the votes of we the people. Without that, we are no longer a democracy, we are a monarchy or a dictatorship. And so today, to uphold my oath to Constitution and country, I will vote to impeach Donald J. Trump. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Georgia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll also remind my chairman that impeachment was never been as a political weapon in between elections when you can't win the next one. And with that, I yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Conaway. Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Other than authorizing an act of war, impeachment is the gravest item that we as Congress can consider. The decision to move forward with impeachment of the United States president is so consequential that it's only been done 3 times previously in our nation's history, all based on legitimate evidence of criminal behavior. Unfortunately, many of my colleagues have diminished what should be a solemn and great proceeding into an absolute political
Exactly.
simply because they don't
I'm
like
glad I'm
the
not the only person that gets frustrated when you hear those words.
on impeaching the president since the day he took office. Their actions are clearly motivated by hatred for President Trump. This impeachment vote today is the next step in their long-held plan to remove him from office. An impeachment investigation run by the House Intelligence Committee was unnecessarily held behind closed doors and a room designed
the Senate is what's next.
Classified information. Nothing classified was shared during these meetings.
Have a good day, Benny.
The decision was that most members of Congress and all Americans were blocked from hearing the facts for themselves. Chairmanship repeatedly withheld crucial information from the Republicans, including the ability.
Okay, DM, you have a blessed day, honey.
Whistleblower at the center of the investigation. He was even called out by liberal media outlets for spreading misinformation and falsehoods throughout the impeachment process. The public hearings were complete disregard for the House rules and the decades of precedent. Republicans were not allowed to call witnesses or to make basic parliamentary motions. In fact, the only witnesses allowed to testify publicly were those who fit neatly within the Democrats' predetermined narrative. Most importantly, we have not been presented any real evidence that proves the president is guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors as required by the Constitution to remove a duly elected president. If there were criminal activity, as many of my Democrat colleagues claim, then why are there no crimes listed in the articles of impeachment? We are forever weakening this body by turning impeachment into a political weapon. This impeachment scheme is nothing more than an attempt to conduct a taxpayer-funded opposition research and damage the president's electability heading into 2020. The American people see right through this charade and are fed up. It's time for this madness to stop and for us to get back to the important work the American people sent us here to do. And I yield back.
So did you hear that, guys?
Reserves, gentleman from New York.
So did you hear that? He said there is no crimes listed in the articles of impeachment. None. Did you hear that?
For your leadership. Let's start by making this very simple. No one in America could do what Donald Trump did and get away with it. No American elected official can call up a foreign government and ask for an investigation of a political opponent. No member of Congress can call up a foreign official and ask for help in our re-election campaign. If we did that, we would likely get indicted. No one is above the law, and the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. I first swore an oath to the Constitution when I joined the United States Air Force on active duty. And the oath I took was not
It
to
is, Jimmy.
a
It is a
party
battle
or
between
to a
good and evil.
president or to a king. It was a document that has made America the greatest nation on earth. And that document contains a safeguard for when the president's abuse of power is so extreme that it warrants impeachment. We're not here because of policy disputes. While I disagree with the president, I acknowledge he has a right to restrict the number of refugees entering our country. He has a right to eliminate environmental executive orders. He has a right to sign a bill that has given tax breaks to the wealthy. But the president does not have the right to cheat and to solicit foreign interference in our elections. That is illegal. It is not what the voters elected him to do, and we will not stand for it.
No, he doesn't have the right. Only Biden can do that. Only the Democratic Party can do that. Even though our president didn't do that. But that job is for the Democrats.
With the Ukrainian president on the requirement that Ukraine publicly announce an investigation into his opponent. And by harming Ukrainian national security, the president also harmed U.S. national security. And then the president solicited foreign interference again on the South Lawn of the White House, when he again asked Ukraine to investigate his political opponent, and then he asked China, our peer competitor, to do the same. That abuse of power is not acceptable. Whether or not the Senate convicts, the House has an independent duty to do the right thing. That's why we've passed over 275 bipartisan bills that are stuck in the Senate. Whether impeaching or legislating, we'll continue to be faithful to the Constitution regardless of what the Senate may or may not do. Moreover, impeachment is a form of deterrence. Our children are watching. No president ever wants to be impeached. And whether Donald Trump leaves in 1 month, 1 year, or 5 years, this impeachment is permanent. It will follow him around for the rest of his life. And
all right. God bless you, Timberlab. Have a blessed day, honey.
It's all very simple. No one's above the law. Not our commander-in-chief.
They did.
Not our president.
Exactly.
I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from
Not his president.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, it's my pleasure to yield a minute and a half to the gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. McHenry. Gentleman's recognized.
Thank my colleague. In 2016, 63 million Americans went to the polls and elected Donald Trump president.
He can run for president,
House
JR.
Democrats have been trying to overturn the election ever since. In fact, they've tried 5 additional times to the one that's before us to impeach the president, including the vote in May of 2017, just 5 months into his term. In January of this year, House Democrats took control of this chamber, and they're faced with a choice. They could use the tools of the majority to pursue legitimate priorities of the American people, policies that can impact their lives, or they could use the tools to undo the 2016 election. They made their choice. Since then, House Democrats have issued more subpoenas than bills have been signed into law.
Exactly. They go against the Constitution.
And that party. Rather than launch a legitimate investigation, Democrats turn to focus groups to workshop their language, to see if they can sell this to the American people. And the American people have rejected it. Instead of negotiating with the executive branch, for instance, and allowing the courts to resolve any legitimate disputes, House Democrats rushed an impeachment vote. So here we are, 12 weeks later, voting whether to impeach the president based off the thinnest record in modern history. It's no surprise that the Senate is already asking for additional witnesses and more documents and real evidence. The body of evidence is weak and woefully insufficient for impeachment. And with that, I yield back on this sad day for this institution.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Nadler.
Mr. Speaker, I now yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Askin.
Mr. Raskin is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. American election is
They are,
belong to the
Caroline.
American people,
They are
not
blackmailed.
the American president and not foreign powers. No president may cheat the people by working with foreign governments to steal from us a free and fair election.
They are
No
made to do
president who
evil.
attempts it may cover up that cheating by systematically obstructing Congress in our work.
Oh, it doesn't make
Article
sense
2
to
of
me,
the
honey.
Constitution does not authorize a president to do whatever he wants. The reason we have a constitution is to keep government officials from doing whatever they want. If we, the people, lose the certainty of free and fair elections to presidential corruption and foreign manipulation, then we lose our democracy itself.
Yeah, but there's no good in this. This, I don't believe, is God's plan. In fact, I believe God is probably infuriated with this. This has nothing to do with God's plan. God put that man in office, and they will not take him out of office. Unless God wants to take him out of office, and then he would have done so. What did you ask, sweetheart? I didn't hear. I didn't see.
To protect our elections,
or did I already answer it?
Constitutional democracy.
I'm not sure.
Enormous and unprecedented challenges that still lie ahead of us. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Georgia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this time, it is my pleasure to yield a minute and a half to the gentlewoman from West Virginia. Ms. Lady is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in opposition of H.R. 755. Today is a disappointing day. It is the day my colleagues from across the aisle cast the vote that they have spent the last 3 years obsessing over. The vote to impeach our duly elected president. There are 2 charges claimed by House Democrats, and there is 0 cause for either. While President Trump
is in
has
God's
led,
hands.
our country has thrived, and Washington liberals have failed.
What did JR ask? JR, if you could put your message back in, I missed it. And I can't, on my phone, go back and look at it.
Continues to succeed. In this body, however,
God is exposing the evil, that's for sure. But we need justice as he does so. There's been so much exposed, but nothing's been done of it.
Our infrastructure is still in dire need of an overhaul, and we still have not reached a bipartisan resolution on drug pricing. If Congress hadn't spent the last year stuck in a divisive, ugly,
he can still run.
Think of what we could have done.
He can still run.
Saved, the communities that could have been improved, the crisis on our southern border ended, and the positive work that we should do for our country. But we didn't.
This doesn't stop him from running. Although they wanted, if they have it their way, they'll make a bill where he can't run.
America deserves better.
But then they'll be destroying themselves because
The gentlelady yields back, and the gentleman from Georgia.
they're retarded.
reserves. The gentleman from New York.
Mr. Speaker, I now yield 2 minutes to the distinguished gentleman from Rhode Island, Mr. Cicilline.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the articles of impeachment against Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States. Mr. Speaker, no one runs for Congress to impeach a president, but this president has left us no choice. President Trump abused the enormous powers of his office when he solicited foreign interference for the purpose of helping him in his re-election campaign in 2020.
yeah, he can still run in 2020.
Security and undermine the security of our
And
elections.
he will win by a landslide.
Our country. He tried to cheat to win re-election. And this wasn't an attack on Vice President Biden. This was an attack on our democracy. And if we do not hold the president accountable today, we will no longer live in a democracy. We will live in a dictatorship where any future president will be free to abuse their office in order to get reelected. So today, every member of this chamber faces a choice, whether to do what the Constitution demands and the evidence requires, or to turn a blind eye to the president's grave misconduct, blind eye to the overwhelming evidence of high crimes and misdemeanors. To my friends on the other side of the aisle, I say this. This is not about making history. This is about holding a lawless president accountable in the way our
No,
intend.
they can still
This
run,
is a time
even
to
if
put
you
our
are.
country over your political party. Do not seek safety in the high grass of a vote against these articles. We are all Americans. Show the American people your devotion to your country is more powerful than your loyalty to your political party. United, we can defend our democracy from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Divide.
I don't know if you guys saw Huckabee on Hannity, but he even did a what do I want to call it? He joked. He said the president can run for 3 years now because they've impeached him for this one, so this year doesn't count. So he can run this year and he can run again. Oh, it was a joke, but he can only run one more time, and he'll run and win.
The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Georgia.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
it goes to the Senate, Carolyn. That is exactly right, and they won't impeach him.
Gentleman is recognized, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in complete and total support of President Trump. The matter before the House today is based solely on a fundamental hatred of our president. It's a sham, a witch hunt, and it's tantamount to a coup against the duly elected president of the United States. This is a sad day for our nation when one political party, along with their cohorts in the deep state and the mainstream media, try to hijack our Constitution. The Democrat majority has irresponsibly turned the impeachment process into a political weapon, something that Republicans
Hijacked, exactly.
Our base was calling for the impeachment of President Obama. It is well past time for the House to move beyond this hoax and put our nation first. That's exactly what President Trump is doing. The United States has record low unemployment, historic performance in the stock market. President Trump is rewriting failed trade deals.
Exactly. Oh, I'm sure that this has solidified a whole bunch of people's votes.
And the list goes on. I implore my colleagues to end this spectacle now. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman reserves. Gentleman from New York, Mr. Nadler.
Mr. Speaker, I'm hearing a lot from my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, except a defense of President Trump's conduct, which is indefensible. I now yield 2 minutes to the distinguished gentleman from Florida, Mr. Deutsch.
Gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Some say this impeachment is about 8 lines in a call transcript, but there is so much more. This was about a scheme that lasted months and involved dozens of Trump administration officials. Look at the evidence. Look at the direct evidence. Text messages, emails, calls, and meetings. Way back in May, the president told his team, talk to Rudy Giuliani. The president's message, no White House meeting unless Ukraine helped him in the 2020 election. Ambassador Sondland said there was a prerequisite of investigations into the Bidens, and announcement of investigations was a deliverable. Ambassador Volker said the most important thing for the Ukrainian president to do was to commit to an investigation of the Bidens. Just before the July 25th call, Volker told the Ukrainians, assuming President Z convinces Trump he will investigate, we will...
I don't know what guessed it was on one of these silly talk shows in the morning. But you know what I saw? What the person said? He says, this this impeachment stuff is a pile of crap. And they've put whipped cream on a pile of crap. They've tried to dress it up as much as they can, but guess what? It's still a pile of crap. Whipped cream and all.
Interference. He was cheating American voters before they even had a chance to vote. President Trump's actions force us to protect our elections and the Constitution. I urge my colleagues to defend the Constitution, support these articles of impeachment, and remind
exactly.
Is above the law.
It's still crap.
The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Georgia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would remind this whole body that it is more than 8 lines. In fact, there's 4 facts. There's no pressure. There's no conditionality. They did nothing to get it, and they got the money. With that, I yield a minute and a half to the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Jules. Have a blessed day, honey. Thank you.
Political effort to remove President Trump from office. I'm not surprised this day has come, but I am disappointed. Disappointed because impeachment is one of the most...
Oh, we aren't getting on, Mark. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Speaker Pelosi said we shouldn't go down this path unless there was something compelling, overwhelming, and bipartisan.
No, they don't.
It would be. Unfortunately, it's clear the majority has had laser focus.
Oh, sweetheart, they've just been, everyone's been talking. They took the vote and everyone's been yakking. We're listening to their remarks.
Deliver bipartisan solutions that will actually help improve the lives of Americans. But the American people see through this sad charade for what it is, an attempt to undo the 2016 election based on hearsay and opinion, not fact. The transcript of the call showed no conditions were placed on the aid. President Trump and Zelensky have said there was no pressure.
Oh, they've already done it, Mark. They took the vote and they voted to impeach him. It is blah blah blah. That's it exactly. They've impeached him.
Where in the 2 articles of impeachment brought today does it argue that the president has committed treason, bribery, or any crime under the law? This is not overwhelming. It is not compelling. It is not bipartisan. But the Speaker has right. She was right in one way. This is incredibly divisive and has lowered the bar for what future presidents will face. I strongly oppose the articles before us today, and I hope that we will finally move past this nightmare.
No, Mark, I'm not kidding you, baby. I wish I was. I wish I was. It is disgusting. But they won't remove him from office because Senate won't vote to do so.
And abuse the powers of his office to pressure Ukraine to help his re-election campaign. This is the highest of high crimes.
No, they won't shut down because of this, but it could.
The gentleman is recognized.
And I thank the gentleman for yielding. As a member of
And that's sad, Chastina. I would move. I pray you get money. I pray, Chastina, you win the lottery so you can move. That's crazy.
To ensure that our nation is secure from all threats, foreign and domestic. And Congress has a constitutional job to investigate allegations of misconduct by the executive branch, including the United States President. The Constitution is
yeah, he'll be president because they won't remove him.
A system of checks and balances to prevent the creation of a king. And Congress is a co-equal branch of our nation's government, equal with the presidency, with duties that are given to us by the framers. This is a very sad day, and I do not take impeachment lightly. Yet I'm here to do my job as a member of Congress. Mi pueblo me ha mandado
Yep, on it. Exactly. Yep, on it. That's what I say.
En nuestras comunidades. Y tristemente estamos presentes considerando las acciones de nuestro presidente de los Estados Unidos. Y mi voto hoy será para asegurar que sigaremos siendo.
I'm hoping to see Barr's surprise before too long, guys.
Muchos de nuestros hijos y hijas.
I hear you. No, I don't. I don't believe the Senate will impeach. There's not a Republican that would stand up for this.
Sobre la Constitución
y todos somos sujetos a las leyes. Y hoy también le pido a Dios que nos dé sabiduría y que nos ayude a unir a nuestra querida patria, los Estados Unidos americanos.
I don't know what's.
Pray for God for his guidance.
I don't know that didn't sound like Spanish, so I'm not sure.
The gentleman from New York.
I mean, that's what I would have thought, but it didn't sound like it.
Provide a translation of your remarks. The gentleman from New York. Do you reserve, Mr. Nadler? Gentleman reserves. Mr. Collins is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes. I would just have to disagree with my chairman. I'm not sure what he's been watching, but facts are not undisputed. They're very much disputed, not only by the minority, but by the witnesses who actually testified. With that, I yield a minute and a half to the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Carter.
Gentleman is recognized.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. Mr. Speaker, I rise today in opposition to the Democrats' sham process, which makes a mockery of the rules of the House and is frankly dangerous to this country. Since day one, the Democrats have made it clear that they wanted to move towards impeachment well before any of the accusations took place.
It was Spanish? Okay.
Recognizes the damage that this will cause for our political institutions and America's trust for years to come. Every American should be concerned that Speaker Pelosi doesn't trust our citizens to let them decide who should lead our great country. This impeachment process isn't focused on strengthening and protecting our political foundations, but rather shaping public opinion. I ask you, is it worth that? Not only is the process alarming, but it's wasting taxpayers' dollars and valuable time that elected officials could be using to move our country forward. That includes securing our borders, addressing student loan debt, or bringing down the cost of health care and prescription drugs. I urge all of my colleagues, while considering these articles, to ask themselves whether this is truly being done.
Yes, it is.
Of the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
A bunch of poop.
The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Nadler.
I would remind the gentleman that after recovering millions of dollars in ill-gotten gains, the Mueller investigation was actually a net plus for the taxpayers. I now recognize the gentleman from Colorado.
Oh, he lies so much. There's not no net plus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank Chairman Nadler and Speaker Pelosi for their leadership. And their
Just because Nadler said so.
Today, the House of Representatives is
what a joke.
to take the rare step of voting to impeach a president for only the third time in our country's history. Unfortunately, President Trump has left us no choice. The fact of the matter is that the president abused the power of his office and invited a foreign country to interfere in our elections. In so doing, he undermined the sanctity of the free and fair elections upon which our republic rests. Making matters worse, over the past several months, President Trump and his administration have done everything they can to prevent Congress from uncovering the truth.
So, Chestina, did he say anything that we didn't already hear? Because I don't speak Spanish. So did he say anything that we need to know about?
During the Watergate investigation,
if you can interpretate it, what he said, hun.
President Nixon's chief of staff
I mean,
testified before Congress.
It's probably the same mess that everyone else has been saying. It's just repetitive retardness.
Testified. President Trump's refused. White House aide.
They think if they can articulate ignorance well enough, the American people will buy it.
Investigation to testify. Simply put,
exactly.
Engaged in a wholesale obstruction of Congress, and that is exactly why we're considering not just one but two articles.
Carolyn's on it this morning. she's made this as enjoyable as it could possibly be. That's for sure. Duct tape would solve a lot of our problems. Yes, it would. I don't think there's enough duct tape in America, though, girlfriend.
So with that,
there's too many of them.
Vote yes on both articles because it is what the Constitution requires.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Demands, and with that, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Wow, I'd have never thought that a Department of Justice investigation was used as a money revenue plot, but I guess one thing is true. It was a loser for the minority in a net profit situation. With that, I yield to Mr. Newhouse, 1.5 minutes.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, the People's House should be better than this. We should be better than this. During the member's remarks in the Judiciary Committee, the committee's impeachment proceedings, he stated, and I quote,
Bubble wrap
"To my
their heads,
Republican
yeah.
colleagues, how do you want to be remembered during this watershed
We want
moment
some
in our
duct
nation's
tape.
history?"
We want to.
Well,
That's
Mr.
how we're going to
Speaker,
solve our
it
problems.
won't be watching sports
We're
on a
going to duct tape
laptop
all their
during
mouths.
official Judiciary Committee proceedings to impeach a sitting president. It won't be using expletives to refer to our president calling for his impeachment just hours after being sworn into Congress. It won't be using the chairmanship of the once respected
Flex
Intelligence
seal them.
Committee to distort the president's words in order to mislead the American people. And it certainly won't
Oh,
be using
sweet
the
Jen,
most
I love you,
serious and
girl.
solemn powers of Congress to
We're sweet.
overturn
We're going to
a
flex them all
legitimate
now.
national election for political expediency. No, Mr. Speaker, my fellow Republican colleagues and I won't be remembered in history for doing any of those things, because we know this is far too grave a matter for subversions such as these of our democratic republic.
Oh,
We
that's
should
cool.
all be better than this. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman reserves. Mr.
Mr.
Nasser?
Speaker, may I inquire how much time remains on both sides?
None of your business. Don't worry about how the other side. Worry about your own. Yeah, why's he got to know what's on both sides?
I don't know. Nosy man, I guess.
Yeah, he don't need
Mr.
it.
Nadler, you're advised, sir, that you have 156 3/4 minutes remaining. The gentleman from Georgia has 157 minutes remaining. Divide that by 6.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I now yield
Flex seal lips to
distinguished
tushy.
gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Escobar.
Gentlelady is
Sweet
recognized.
Jenna.
Our country faces a great tragedy and moment of truth. We have witnessed the President of the United States abuse his public office for personal political gain and invite foreign governments to interfere in our elections, putting the integrity of a government of, for, and by the people.
And we have just watched the Democrats ignore rule of law, the Constitution of the United States of America, and destroy what republic we had.
He conducted a robust investigation into the president's misconduct. Members interviewed 12 witnesses in public hearings totaling over 30 hours, conducted 17 depositions totaling over 100 hours, examined text messages and emails, reviewed the president's own words and actions, and published a 300-page report detailing their findings. All of this despite the fact that under the president's direction, 12 current
And let's not forget, but there's not one crime mentioned in these impeachment articles.
The Judiciary Committee then reviewed the evidence and concluded that 2 articles of impeachment, which I support, were warranted. The evidence shows that President Trump is a clear and present danger to our free and fair elections and our national security. The most powerful evidence of this pattern has come from the president himself. In 2016, we heard him when he called on Russia to interfere in our elections. He said, "Russia, if you're listening." He then repeated this call for election interference on the July 25th call with the Ukrainian president. And we heard him again on the White House lawn, further adding China to that mix. I stand ready to protect our sacred republic, support these articles of impeachment, and I pray that my colleagues have the courage to do the same.
And we heard the FISA OIG, Michael Horowitz, has a 426-page report and 19 months of investigation. And what did he discover? That the HRC and the DNC interfered with the 2016 election.
With the goal of sowing discord and division in America. Do you think he's been successful?
I'm aggravated.
Somewhere in Russia right now, Putin is laughing at us today.
Exactly.
The majority has given him exactly what he wants. A divided America with a pure partisan politics, with nasty political rhetoric at an all-time high. And some
Hey,
already
Rachel.
across the aisle are
See if she's
discrediting
awake.
the results of future elections. Already. It seems to many Americans that for the past 3 years, the House majority has been carrying out the wishes of the Kremlin. And the sad part is the Democrats have vowed to continue their sham investigations even after today's vote. Impeaching a duly elected president in a purely partisan manner with no crimes to show for it, not one element of a crime defined, disgraces the integrity of our democracy. Now is the time to end the partisan politics, come together and put America first. I urge this body to vote no to partisan impeachment.
The gentleman yields back to reserve. Gentleman reserves. Mr. Nadler?
Mr. Speaker, I now yield 2 minutes to the distinguished gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries.
Mr. Jeffries is recognized for 2 minutes.
George Washington, in his farewell address to the nation, counseled America that the Constitution is sacredly obligatory upon all. It is in that spirit that we proceed today. Donald Trump pressured a foreign government to target an American citizen for political gain and at the same time withheld without justification $391 million in military aid to a vulnerable Ukraine as part of a scheme to solicit foreign interference in an American election. That is unacceptable. That is unconscionable. That is unconstitutional. There are some who cynically argue that the impeachment of this president will further divide an already fractured union. But there is a difference between division and clarification. Slavery once divided the nation, but emancipators rose up to clarify that all men are created equally. Suffrage once divided the nation,
Hey, I'm live.
but women rose up to clarify that all voices must be heard in our democracy. Jim Crow once divided the nation, but civil rights champions rose up to clarify that all are entitled to equal protection.
This world is nuts, that's for sure, Carolyn.
Between division and clarification. We will hold this president accountable for his stunning abuse of power. We will hold this president accountable for undermining our national security. We will hold
how is our national security undermined?
Our democracy. We
Tell
will
me,
impeach
how's our national security?
John
Y'all not
Trump.
letting him build a wall.
We
Is our national
will
security undermining?
clarify that in America, no one is above the law.
Well, then y'all need to put y'allself in that same shoe.
The gentleman from Georgia.
Exactly, sweet Jenna. That's exactly what we got, hun.
Gentleman's recognized.
Mr. Speaker, nullifying a national election requires an overwhelming case of high crimes supported by indisputable evidence that the vast majority of the nation finds compelling. Now, Article 1 is a made-up crime called abuse of office. It does not charge that the president broke any law, but that Congress doesn't like the way he lawfully discharged his constitutional duties. This would reduce the presidency to that of a minister serving at the pleasure of Congress, destroying the separation of powers at the heart of our Constitution. Article 2 is another made-up crime called obstruction of Congress. It means the president sought to defend his constitutional rights and those of his office. It removes the judiciary from our Constitution and places Congress alone in the position of defining the limits of its own powers relative to the president. Our Bill of Rights guarantees every American the right to confront their accuser, to call witnesses in their defense, to be protected from hearsay, and to defend these rights in court. The Democrats have trampled them all in their stampede to impeach. Even in this kangaroo court, the Democrats' hand-picked witnesses provided no first-hand knowledge the president leaked aid to action. In fact, 2 witnesses provided first-hand knowledge that he specifically ordered no quid pro quo. Any case that charged no actual crime and offered no legally admissible evidence would be laughed out of court in a heartbeat. That's the case before us today. It would redefine the grounds for impeachment in such a way that assures that it will become a constant presence in our national life. Now we know just how reckless is the Democrats' chant of resist by any means necessary. This is a stunning abuse of power and a shameless travesty of justice that will stay.
Gentleman reserves. Mr. Nadler.
Mr. Speaker, abuse of power was no vague or weak notion to the framers. It had a very specific meaning: the use of official power to obtain an improper personal benefit while ignoring or injuring the national interest.
Why would he
President Trump
want to
has
be
abused his
president
office
again?
and must be removed. I now yield 2 minutes to the...
It's not a crime though. And that's what the Constitution is framed on. These retards. I'm sorry guys. I'm getting upset.
You need to get off.
I need to get off because I'm really getting very, very mad. I love y'all. And my phone is fixing to die anyway. So I've got to charge it up. This is probably, they got 150 some minutes. So if I get enough each. So if I get,
4 hours for it in.
so there's about 4 hours worth. I'll be back. Let me charge my phone some. And then we'll come back and we'll see where they are a little later. I hope everyone has a blessed day. Oh, you're so welcome, Scan. I got to charge my phone, though. It's done, went through the battery. So, and I have to have my phone or my iPad, and my granddaughter's got my iPad. But anyway, I hope you all have a blessed day. And again, I'll be back later, like I said, and we'll watch some more of this horrible debacle. Bye, guys. Everyone does need to be mad. Everyone needs to be mad and stand up and let their voice be heard. Thank you, Carolyn. You all have a blessed day. Thanks for the laughs, girl. Let me tell you, you've been on it. We needed something to lighten this day. Anyway, God bless each and every one of you. Y'all have a blessed day, hon. Bye. We'll see you all later.